Well, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Wednesday, October 30th, 2024 Prairie Grove City Council special meeting to order. Roll call.
Recall,
Here.
Sue Pluck,
Here.
Paula Ditmars,
Here.
Tony Cunningham.
Here.
Doug Stumble.
Here.
Chris Powell.
Here.
Rick Greg.
Here.
Rick Clayton.
We'll ask if there's any public comment, but it doesn't look like we have any public. Ms. Carter, do you, anything?
Nothing.
And our only order of business tonight is a resolution to approve the property tax levy and submission to the quorum courts. This is something that we had pushed off last Monday as we were trying to set correctly the mills. And the reason why it's in front of you today, because even the one that I sent to you today, we had to make some changes to. What we changed is the two voluntary parts. And so what you see is 1 mil for the police department and 0.5 mil, or excuse me, 0.5 of a mil for the fire department. Larry, is there anything that you would like to say before we go to vote?
Just, I will say that, I had some concerns last month, and I wish I would have to go ahead and probably adopt that, and if we could come back. Might have saved having a meeting, but we did find that voluntary was in error, so we are able to correct that by meeting tonight. Anyway, voluntary tax doesn't generate a huge amount of money for the city, but there are people that still pay the voluntary tax. Just, they're far and few between, but we do get some money out of that. So raising that back up to 1.5, it was inadvertently lowered last year, thinking that the voluntary tax had to be rolled back as well. After I talked to Dan Seifert, he said it's a voluntary tax, you can do whatever you want with it. So we moved it back up to the original 1.5. That's what it's been historically for at least 40 years that I know of. So it's always been 1.5. The 4.3, I still don't know that I agree with him, but the rollback calculations, I've gone over them. They were kind of like reading Greek, and I don't read Greek. They're very hard to understand. They swear they're right. I still say theoretically, if we're in this pattern of growth year after year, you could essentially roll back all the way to 0 at some point, and you know that's not feasible. So I still think that should be reset at our original millage before it's rolled back, but they say no. So we'll go by what they say because they make the rules, we don't. But it's 0.43. Theoretically, next year, if we do squeak by and we're say at 9.99% instead of 10%, we can raise it right back up to 5, and we can go on from there. There's no restriction on how much we can raise it if we don't hit that 10% threshold. So you can go back to the 5 next year if we don't meet that rollback requirement.
With no questions, we'll entertain a motion.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Do y'all have any announcements, just since we have it on the agenda?
Retreats tomorrow night.
Yeah, trunk or treat tomorrow night setup is at 4 o'clock. We'll open gates at 5 p.m. Downtown has a downtown monster mash from 3 to 5. So theoretically, you can go 3 to 5 downtown, 5 to 7:30 with us at the battlefield. And with that, we'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, seeing as I see nothing else on your agenda for this evening, I put in a motion that we adjourn.
Can I second it?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Thank y'all for coming tonight.
Bye.